Hi, everybody. Hello. Who? Anybody out there? Welcome to another edition of Darcy Menard's episodes. No. Anyways, it's Sunday, September the 20th. I think it's 19th, something like that today. I don't know actually. It's 18th or something like that. Anyways, today is a great day to be alive. It's Sunday, God's day. Hope everybody went to church this morning and got their hour of God in them. Unfortunately I slept in, so I missed my church, but definitely have been following church now for about a month now. Just around the corner from where I live at the gay church at Gore and Cordova. So yeah, it's great to be back into the God in my life. You always need a higher power to guide you and make you feel worthy of keeping your head up and steer you in the right direction. There's some positive influence in your life. I know it has for me. It's kept me strong. The 3-4 times I've been to church, it's only been 3 times I've been to church. So, like I said, over only a month. So, but it feels really good to be going back to church. I am a Catholic, and I'm going to a United Church, Anglican. I think it's Anglican. So it's a little bit different, but not too much. It's pretty much similar to Catholic faith. I actually volunteered for the church 2 weeks ago. I handed out flyers at the front of the church as parishioners were entering the church. I was handing out the schedule for today's mass. The prayers and songs and the gospel and all that stuff that the priest will be chatting about and speaking about. I was handing out those and greeting people at the door, saying welcome to St. James, which is what the name of the church is. So yeah. So hopefully everybody out there, and hi Oppenheimer Park fans. Anyways, about God in my life and higher power. I'm thinking that maybe I should continue going to church on a regular basis, and hopefully and I'm thinking starting this week, I'm going to make myself a brand new person. I'm going to stop. I don't have an actual set date, but I am going to be now heading to Narcotics Anonymous meetings on a regular basis to try to come clean from drugs and alcohol without rehab or detox facilities. I think this probably might be a good move for me or the right decision. I haven't been NA in long time. It's been at least, well, in Vancouver City here, it's been years since I've been to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. I see when I went to Kelowna, the year of the Olympics, so 2010. I was in Kelowna for 1 year and 5 months, or 1 year and 4 months, and I stayed clean for 1 year and 3 months, and then I ended up relapsing on crack, real good quality crack in Kelowna, and I ended up coming back to Vancouver because I ended up getting kicked out of the recovery house, male recovery house I was living in the Rutland area of Kelowna. If everybody's familiar with that, it's Highway 33 coming out of town or into town. There's Rutland district, North Rutland and Rutland. I was living on the top of the hill in Rutland. So there's North Rutland, which is where I was living, and then there's Rutland area, which is below the hill. And I was up on the top of the hill in a recovery house for men. The guy who named the man who run the house was Bruce. He had 2 homes he ran. He ran Madsen House and another one. And I was living in the other one, not Madsen House. There was 9 guys in the house that I was living at. It was a great recovery house. You had to make a minimum of 4 meetings of Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous per week, minimum of 4. And you had to have a drug or alcohol counselor as well. And you had to do chores in the house. While every single day you were given the same chore for 1 week. And then every Sunday we would have a house meeting where we would discuss any problems that we're having in our life or with other roommates in the house for having a fight or just whatever. We'd also assign a chore list. And so we had chores to do and had to make 4 meetings minimum a week and have a drug and alcohol counselor. Well, that was a great thing for me to do. I felt so alive and so high spirited. I felt like a human being again. It was a great thing for me to do, and I think I would do it again if I had the chance. But it had some great difficulties in my recovery at that time. I have no idea what the problem was, and I have even seen a psychiatrist there in Kelowna at the time this was occurring, and they found that my brain was functioning normal, and I had no such thing as any form of mental illnesses of any kind or anything like that. But I had a sleep deprivation constantly occurring while I was in Kelowna in rehab. The only thing I was doing was methadone, of course, which eventually I got off of while I was in Kelowna. That was the only thing I was doing and tobacco. But I had constant sleep debt, and I stayed awake, and I'm not kidding, this is not exaggerating. I stayed awake for 15 days, at least 4 times in a year, which is a long time to be awake while you're in recovery. That's not normal at all to be getting sleep deprivation for 15 days. Even while I was taking antidepressants and they don't prescribe you sleeping pills because they're habit forming, so I couldn't take sleeping pills. But I was taking antidepressant with sleep tendencies in it. The medications I was taking was Prozac, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, and Trazodone. Those are the 4 meds that I was taking every single day while I was in Kelowna, plus the methadone. Now, you would think that with all those medications that I should be out like a light heavily with medications like that. 500 milligrams of Seroquel and 500 milligrams of Trazodone is a heavy-duty dosage for most people, and that'll knock out a horse for most people. But it didn't for me. It didn't work at all, and unfortunately, I was having problems keeping up with the chores in the house because I was always constantly sleeping, trying to sleep in, and I was too lazy to get out of bed because I had no sleep, and I've been up for 15 days. And when I did fall asleep after getting sleep deprived, I only fell asleep for 4 or 5 hours after that. Then I was back awake again for days and days. But yeah, it was a great time for me to reflect on myself and give myself a nice rest of drugs and alcohol, and I'll get away from the city of Vancouver and all my gay friends and all my homeless friends, and it was really, really peaceful at times, and I think that was a really good time for me at that time. I made a lot of friends in recovery. I made my 1 year clean for both AA and NA, and got my medallions and my cake. And my mother, who just recently died a year ago, in Lac-La-Biche, Alberta, which is where she died of breast cancer. She happened to visit me in Kelowna while I was in recovery. She came for 3 days in Kelowna, and she stayed in a motel. And she saw me take my 1 year cake and Narcotics Anonymous. At the time, I was also hosting and chairing meetings at the same time in Kelowna. I chaired a lot of NA meetings while I was in recovery. You could chair meetings after being 3 months clean. You need to have 3 months clean before you can start volunteering as a chair or host Narcotics Anonymous meetings and be the chairperson at the front of the meeting, and serve coffee and then all that, open up the meeting and make sure it's, open on time, etc. You have to be a minimum of 3 months clean or 90 days sobriety. So for my 90 days sobriety, I ended up becoming a chair, and I chaired lots and lots of meetings in Kelowna, and I really, really, really loved it. It was a great experience for me. It was really fun, and I even went to the Kelowna Roundup, Narcotics Roundup, the Roundup, and even they have a Roundup, and I even went to the camp out, the Alcoholics Anonymous camp out that they have for 3 days on the weekend. It's of course, it's alcohol drug free, but for 3 days we celebrated we did Narcotics Anonymous meetings around the fire at nighttime, roasting marshmallows, and we sang songs, not really gospel songs, but songs relating to a higher power and being clean and serene and sobriety and stuff like that. We did that was just such a fun time while I was in Kelowna. I can't emphasize on how strong I felt and how great I felt when I was there. It really felt good to be clean. But I was struggling with sleep deprivation and issues that I'm not aware of, or didn't even know what it was, but I was having problems functioning and stuff like that. So I ended up relapsing. I relapsed on purpose because I was tired and fed up and tired of not being able to sleep and make my meetings and stuff. And I was losing interest in being clean. And I figured, well, if I'm not going to be able to sleep, then I might as well do something that's going to keep me awake. And then I have a reason to crash and burn and knock myself out after being up for 3 days by doing drugs. So I ended up doing crack and relapsed. And a month and a half later, I'm leaving the recovery house and back to Vancouver. I came. I would have ended up homeless in Kelowna, which is not a great place to be homeless, especially when you're used to the warm weather in Vancouver. It's not a great place to be homeless in the wintertime, at -30, freezing cold and freezing wet, and because you're unknown in that city. I wouldn't have help from friends as much, and when it comes to relapsing and you're in recovery, your friends that you've made in recovery and the friends you've made in Narcotics Anonymous and AA, they're not there to support you or help you when you struggle and fall off the wagon. They won't deal with you. They won't help you out and buy you a cup of coffee when you're struggling and you fell off the wagon. They avoid you because you screwed yourself over. You went and used. So I wouldn't have any support from my recovery friends that I've made, and I wouldn't have any support from anybody else in the neighborhood because I was unknown. I was a new person that lived there, and I didn't know anybody. So it would have been really difficult to survive homeless in Kelowna at that time, which is why I came back to Vancouver. At least here I know it's warm, and I don't even need to know anybody here to survive with all the services we have here for the homeless. So that's why I did what I did. Maybe in the future I will try it. And Kelowna is a great city to do recovery. It's a very high recovery city. I would say probably 25% of the population is in recovery in Kelowna. It's pretty high. It's a pretty high number. About 25% of the city is in recovery or in sobriety of some sort. it's pretty phenomenal how many people are actually clean and in recovery in Kelowna. Um, I've actually never seen a city, as far as I know, that I had such a high recovery rate for people. There is so many recovery houses and so many narcotics meetings and AA meetings, and lots of recovery. That's all there is in Kelowna. And I was very, very surprised. It was a great city to be clean in. And I would do it again if I had the chance. But as I struggled, sleep depth, I'm kind of leery or scared to go back to the city again. So you never know. It could probably happen again, and it may not. Maybe it's a chance. Maybe it's a chance I should take and try it again. But at this point, I'm really scared to go back. So, anyways, so I'm planning on going to NA meetings in Vancouver now. I have to, as soon as I'm done my stream here, I'm going to go online and look up the narcotics meetings for the city of Vancouver and find out when and where they are, and I'll make a meeting or two in the next few days and stay positive. You know, I don't have an actual clean date. I'm just going to go with the flow and just wing it, and not set a date and time, because then it's pressure to meet that demand, and I don't need pressure, because then if you screw yourself over with not meeting your deadline, then you get depressed and then you just use even more. So I'm not going to put any pressure on myself or any demands. I'm just going to go with the flow and see how things go. But anyways, that's my shit thing for today. I will be on again at 8:00 p.m. tonight. Stay tuned for another episode. Thank you very much. Have a great day.